everyone, welcome back to more the Spongebob Squarepants Movie game. Where in the last episode, we played through the tutorial level, which was no cheese, and obtained the Crisis at the Krusty Krab task. And today we will be playing the second level of the game, which is I'm Ready, Depression, in which we are going to be learning about Patrick's moveset, because this level is essentially just a tutorial for Patrick, the same way the first level was a tutorial for SpongeBob. Also, we have our first new type of enemy, as opposed to just, you know, fighting regular jellyfish. I believe their name is Fogger. I don't know, it's a weird name, but they go down just as easily as the jellyfish do. In fact, they're actually easier to take down because their hitbox is much bigger, and their melee attack is much less dangerous than the electric shock of the jellyfish. Anyway, you'll see me running around here just destroying everything because I want to get as many dumbbells as possible, because the goal, I don't know if we'll be able to do it, but we're going to try, because there's a lot of dumbbells in this level, we're going to try to get another upgrade, hopefully upgrade SpongeBob's spin attack in this episode. That's the plan anyway, but you'll see it's pretty much the same as SpongeBob's spin attack. The difference, of course, is that because this is an upgraded attack, when we encounter an enemy that can shoot projectiles at us, we will be able to reflect those projectiles directly back at the enemy, which is, of course, lovely. And it has an added visual flair with the enhanced spinning effect. Anyway, when you're satisfied with your dumbbell count, you can move on right along and proceed down this hall. You don't have to break everything that I'm breaking. I'm just going out of my way to break extra things because, like I said, I want to get as many dumbbells as possible. Anyway, when you walk out of this platform, it's going to collapse, like so, which is fine. You can, if you want to, you jump off that balcony as it collapses and land right on the elevator without skipping a beat. But we're not going to do that because there's a lot of high-value, I almost call them shiny objects. Shows you how much of Battle for Bikini Bottom I've played. A lot of high-value dumbbells, sorry, that we can collect by just breaking up in these boxes. And you may have seen me try to do a mid-air attack as Patrick, because I'm just used to the rehydrated control scheme as Patrick. Because in Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, you can attack in mid-air as Patrick, but unfortunately, in the original Battle for Bikini Bottom and in this game, you cannot. Anyway, you want to ride the elevator up to the top, hop on this cookie platform, and then jump between them, like so. Stand on the edge of this cookie platform, or at least as close to the edge you're comfortable with, and then space your double jump so that you can land on this balcony right here.
SpongeBob! What's up, Patrick? You have got to try this new dot broom game. Dot! Where?
Alright, these guys are called Slammers. Basically, you'll notice that their attack pattern and animations are identical to... I let myself get hit a couple times just so I can demonstrate just how similar they are. Their attack patterns and animations are basically identical to the hammer enemy from Battle for Bikini Bottom, but whatever. Anyway, hit this button as Patrick to cause a series of trampolines to spawn in, and we got a little bit of a basic platforming challenge to get to the other side, but we're going to get all those dumbbells along the way, so we're going to bounce on one, and then just grab all the dumbbells along the way, jump between them, and just keep falling through the stack of dumbbells so that we can grab as many as possible. We should be able to get enough to upgrade SpongeBob's spin attack in this episode. If we don't, it's no big deal, because we'll be able to push him over the edge when we start playing SpongeBob again. But still, it'd be cool to do it in this episode. Anyway, well, so one difference between this game and Battle for Bikini Bottom is that Battle for Bikini Bottom has very little backtracking, in the sense that you can get, except for Jellyfish Fields and Downtown Bikini Bottom. Hold on, 1 second, cutscene.
Hey, it's you two again. I missed you guys.
Except for Jellyfish Fields and Downtown Bikini Bottom, if you want to, you can collect every single golden spatula and sock on your first run-through in every level in the game, except for those two that I mentioned just a second ago. Whereas this game has a considerably larger amount of backtracking, starting with this right here. The Up Chocolate Creek challenge is now open. SpongeBob may, I think it said SpongeBob may do it once he learns the Sonic Wave challenge attack, which, yeah, we need Sonic's, I just said we need Sonic's. We need SpongeBob's Sonic Wave challenge, or Sonic Wave ability, in order to hit those buttons, so that we can access Up Chocolate Creek, which, of course, we do not have yet. So, this game has a considerably greater amount of backtracking than Battle for Bikini Bottom does, which is slightly annoying, but, you know, it's whatever. And this is essentially the Duplicatotron, this game's version of Duplicatotron when it comes to spawning enemies. There'll be differently themed versions of that throughout the levels, and I'll point them out as we come about them, but they're all pretty much the same general design. They're just enemy spawners is what the point here is. If you lost any health along the way, you can replenish that health with with the hamburgers right here. And now you'll notice we're gonna have a new thing for Patrick. But before we get into that, I'm actually gonna hop down here really quickly because for one, there's a lot of shiny objects. I did it again. I call them shiny objects. There's a lot of dumbbells down here that you can collect. And the reason why I want to get them is, like I said, we want to try to upgrade Spongebob. But there's a bit more important thing down here, because if we break down this door, you'll find a treasure chest hidden inside here. There are 2 treasure chests in this level. That was the first one. The second one will be towards the end of the level, so you want to break down that door, and the treasure chest will be waiting for you just inside. Other than that, that's all that I really wanted to come down here for to collect. So once you're satisfied with your dumbbell count, you can hop back to the trampoline and bounce your way up to the top. It's going to get a few more dumbbells. And that should be good for now. So now then, Patrick's new ability. You may have noticed what the text block said, which is jump and press the Y button to swing onto this ice block. And once you do that, you'll notice that this is extremely similar to Sandy's lasso swings in Battle for Bikini Bottom. But unfortunately, you cannot play as Sandy in this game, so this is basically them just taking Sandy's lasso ability and pasting it onto Patrick. So, yeah, that's that. Anyway, hit this button to open up the doorway, and then we can proceed into the next room, where there's going to be 3 foggers that appear out of those little rock things, just to defeat them all with ease. And yeah, they're not really that big of a threat to you. If you get in the way of their breath, that'll do some damage, as long as you know how to just stay away from the front of them. Like, just stay to the side or behind them, and you won't get hit by the breath. And you should be good to go, because they go down in 1 hit.
Patrick, if you bring me more Goofy Goober tokens, I can grant you the cartwheel move.
Oh boy, I love whatever that move is.
You will. Just bring me more Goofy Goober tokens.
Okay, so there will be a couple instances, there are a couple instances throughout the course of the game where you need to have collected a certain number of Goofy Goober tokens in order to learn a new move or proceed to a certain level. So like sometimes you'll boot up the start of a level, and if you haven't collected enough Goofy Goober tokens, Mindy will tell you that you can't play it until you collect a certain number of Goofy Goober tokens. That will not be a problem for the rest of this walkthrough, because like I said, we will be collecting every single Goofy Goober token that we possibly can in this walkthrough. But the only reason why we're stopped by this one is because we haven't had the opportunity to collect any more. I mean, we do have 2 unlocked, but we can't get this one yet. This is going to be the one for completing the main level, and this is the one that we're going to be one of the 2, that we're going to be collecting in order to access the cartwheel move that Mindy wants to grant us. So the first one will be over there, and the second one will be right back here. And we're going to get this one first just because it's easier and we can get it much more quickly. And the an ounce of bounce challenge is now open to play. You want to break your way through all these walls that stand in Patrick's way to break into this room right here. And all you have to do, literally it's a very simple process. You just jump on the trampoline, hands off the controller, and you automatically bounce up the remaining trampolines and into your Goofy Goober token. Like I said, much easier than the other one. It's incredibly simple, but we're not done yet, because we do still need to collect 1 more Goofy Goober token before we can before Mindy can grant us the cartwheel move. And yeah, this is the only time in the game when we will be stopped by one of these Goofy Goober token gates, or gateways, or whatever you want to call them. Because, like I said, we'll be collecting every single Goofy Goober token we possibly can throughout the entire game. So there won't be an instance when Mindy has to tell us, you haven't collected enough, you got to go back. So don't worry about that. If you're following along with the walkthrough, I'll show you how to collect everything over the course of the game, and you will never have to encounter another one of these. You need to collect more. But for now, we're going to head to this platform and warp to the first combat arena challenge of the game. Okay, so we play these sections of SpongeBob in which we have to defeat all enemies. Wave 1 of 3. Are you ready, kids? Set, go. Yeah, so this is pretty self-explanatory. It's literally just a combat gauntlet. That's all there is to it. It's not always 3 waves. It's a certain amount of... there is a certain amount of waves every time, but it's different for each combat arena. There will be plenty more of these throughout the course of the game, with different types of enemies, different enemy combos, different numbers of enemies. Is it very obvious padding? Yes. Is it very monotonous? Yes. But does it make for an easy Goofy Goober token? Yes. Yes, it does. So we just got to make our way through 3 waves of these things. Where's the last? Oh, there it is. Hello, friend. stay away from its breath, and there we go. Wave 1 complete. And now that we have the classic SpongeBob model, you'll probably recognize this one looks a lot more, or you'll probably recognize this one more closely to the Battle for Bikini Bottom model, because this one actually is the Battle for Bikini Bottom model that was in that they used for that game. So, like I said, I mean, the game engine, the reason, if you're wondering why the movement and camera feel so similar to Battle for Bikini Bottom, is because it's the exact same camera, exact same movement. It's the same game engine as that game. It's the same engine as that game, it's just used for the Spongebob Squarepants Movie game instead of for Battle for Bikini Bottom, and instead of it being open world 3D platformer, it's a more linear adventure based on the events of the movie. And that's about all there is to it. So yeah, this will not be the only platforming. This will not be the only combat challenge that we'll have to do throughout the course of the game, but it will be the easiest. So, I mean, not that any of them are particularly hard, just so long as you know what you're doing, but comparatively, this is definitely the easiest of the bunch, which it makes sense for it to be since it's the first one. And if you're running low on health, you can pick up plenty of hamburgers around the level, and they do respawn, so you're never really in danger of running out of health. Especially once we start to get health upgrades later in the game, then it becomes even easier to not lose health. Hey SpongeBob, how you doing today? I just tried to bubble bash, that's what I just did, because I'm used to the game actually giving you these abilities out of the gate. And yeah, one tip I do have, in case you're having trouble with this, is to let as many enemies as possible bunch up together, let's see if we can find a good example of this. Kind of like this-ish, because then you can hit them all with one punch. So you can knock down more, you can knock down multiple enemies with one punch without having to twiddle around for a bit. Yeah, that wasn't the best explanation of that, but basically, the more enemies that gather around at a given opportunity, the less hits you have to take them down, because obviously if there's, the more that you can hit with a single attack, the less work you have to do. So like right here, I can hit all these guys in one single hit, and I'll deal with multiple enemies at a given time, instead of having to hit one enemy and then maybe another one. It's like, if I wait for them to group up, then I can hit them both at the same time and not have to worry about an enemy sneaking up behind me while I'm attacking a different enemy. I can just they're all in my sights, and I know I can hit them all in one bunch. And yeah, as you can see, it's just the difficulty here is in the sheer quantity of enemies, not by any like this is a platforming game. The combat is not the main focus here, but they've made it the main focus of these sections, and as such, it's just. The difficulty is in quantity of enemies and just mowing them all down, not actually any particularly challenging combat. So, yeah, that's that. Like I said, very monotonous, very tedious, but there will be plenty more of those sections throughout the course of the game, so hopefully you enjoyed it, and if not, well, they're not going anywhere, unfortunately. But those are the 2 Goofy Goober tokens that we needed in order to unlock the cartwheel ability from good old Mindy, so let's go over here and talk to her.
Brought me enough Goofy Goober tokens, you may now use the cartwheel move.
Time to spin? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy!
Just press B, and when you do, you'll dash forward quickly, smashing anything in your path.
Get going, Patrick. There's lots to do.
So yeah. One thing this game does differently from Battle for Bikini Bottom is that Patrick's movement is a bit more. They've increased the speed of Patrick's movement with the introduction of the cartwheel ability, which allows us to just roll around the speed of sound essentially. Yeah, that's basically all this is. It makes the enemies a lot easier because you just roll straight into them like this with no consequence whatsoever. By the way, you may notice that we were able to knock down the hammers. I call them hammers. The slammer guys in one hit with Patrick, but it took us 2 hits with SpongeBob. That's because we upgraded. That's because we upgraded Patrick's spin attack, but not SpongeBob's spin attack. So that's in case you're wondering as to why that is. Anyway, you may notice that I deliberately avoided spinning into those boxes in the corners. That's because we actually need those boxes to stay upright so that we can grab the dumbbells up above. So we'll cartwheel over to them like this. But then you want to jump up to this dumbbell, then to this dumbbell, turn left, jump on top of this box, and then grab the special 50, the special dumbbell worth 50. And as you can see, we are almost about to get 1,500 dumbbells. I think actually, yeah, the next 50, the next dumbbell with 50 we're gonna get will be enough to push it over the edge. But I think we're gonna get even before that. I think we're gonna get it even before we get to the top of this tower. So just almost there. We're almost available to give SpongeBob his next upgrade. Just a few more dumbbells to go, and there we go. There's our 1,500 that we need to collect, and we have now been given upgrade points. Once I destroy all these boxes right here, which I might be able to do more easily with the cartwheel moves, let's go ahead and tear our way through these. And, okay, there we go. So, now the question is, what else do we want to upgrade? So let's go ahead and pause right here and upgrade. Okay, so the cartwheel is something else that we can upgrade, and what will this do? It allows Patrick's macho cartwheel to damage anything that comes too near. So basically, it increases the radius of your attack, so that you don't have to directly cartwheel into someone, even if they're just near you as you're cartwheeling, it'll defeat them. We're not gonna do that because Patrick's Starsman is already upgraded enough as is, and the cartwheel is powerful enough as is. Instead, we're gonna upgrade SpongeBob's Karate Spin so that we can increase the damage, so that we don't have to worry about being able to knock down enemies in 2 hits. So we're just gonna do this now.
Black belt, here
When upgraded, allows SpongeBob's Macho Karate Spin to reflect enemies' projectiles back at them, just like Patrick's Star Spin upgrade. So those are both of their attacks fully upgraded, so now all we have to worry about, I mean, there's going to be more attacks and abilities that we can upgrade later, but we don't have those unlocked yet, so for now, we're probably going to just focus on health, which basically, the only thing the health upgrade does is it just gives you an extra hit point, which, I mean, not to worry about that. There's enough health around the levels to where we don't really need to do this, but it's there if you want to. Anyway, you can either hit both. The way I recommend doing this is I recommend cartwheeling into one of these buttons and then immediately cartwheeling into the other one, so that you can hit them one after the other. You can either cartwheel down this hallway like this, or you can just walk down. But I do recommend cartwheeling down and trying to hit all the dumbbells with your cartwheel, because it's going to make getting the next treasure chest significantly easier. If you have a good grasp on controlling the cartwheel and being able to follow a certain path, it'll make the next treasure chest much easier to get. And I'll explain that when we get to it. But this is ice platforming, but it's not too bad because once you start jumping, the ice physics no longer apply, so it's not too bad in terms of platforming challenges. But here is the room that we are going to need to use Patrick's cartwheel ability in order to get our next treasure chest. But before I step too far into this cookie, I want you to, well, never mind. I was gonna try to show you where the next what we had to do before we actually went down here, but unfortunately that's gonna, actually I can jump up on top here. Oh nope, I wasn't fast enough. You see the boxes around the perimeter of this level that start on the left hand side and go to the right hand side? You'll see it goes all around the perimeter of this room. We have to hit every single one of these boxes in one contiguous cartwheel motion. So we have to start here and then go around the corner like this and keep hitting all the boxes so that you can get your treasure chest. If you hit them all in one single cartwheel motion, the treasure chest will be available for you to collect. Now, it's easier said than done because I have a lot of practice with the game's controls, and it's also why I said to try to get a handle on the cartwheel controls before you got here. If you want to do a practice one, you can kind of try to go along the perimeter of the boxes, but my caution there is that if you do that, you might accidentally hit one of the boxes while practicing. And I'll say this too: you can always just reload to an ounce of bounce if you need to, and this will warp you right back to that room with where we talked to Mindy, and then you can just cartwheel through again, complete the ice platforming challenge, and then you'll be right back here in the box to respawn. It's a little annoying to do it, admittedly, but it's still possible to respawn if you don't get all the boxes in one motion. Either way, once you collect your treasure chest, you can hop back onto this elevator. It'll take you up to this trampoline, which we can bounce between. Like so, if you want some special dumbbells, you can jump out to the center and then grab them all like this, and just hop back to the next trampoline right over here. And we're almost at the end of the level. We just got one more room to make our way through, and then that will be it for this level. So first things first, we can't deal with that spawner until we create a bridge. So first thing first, you want to cartwheel across the room into both of these buttons so that we spawn the bridge like so. And we can go deal with that spawner, because so long as the spawner is still around, enemies will keep spawning in, and there won't be anything we do about it. So then, once that's gone, we can go back here and clean up any of the enemies which we missed the first time around. Then, all we have to do is, you'll notice there is a wall jump over here for SpongeBob, and a portal hero allowing you to change to SpongeBob. But the only reason you do this is to complete a Sonic Wave challenge, which is up there, but we do not have... Oh, hey SpongeBob, how you doing today? We do not have the Sonic Wave ability yet, so it's pointless to do so, so we're just going to grab a Goofy Goober token, and then that will be it for this level.
are, Patrick. I've been trying to find you all evening.
It's 8 in the morning, SpongeBob.
Oh my gosh, 8 o'clock. I am late for work. Mr. Krabs is gonna kill me. Oh, Mr. Krabs.
Back at the Krusty Krab, King Neptune confronts Mr. Krabs about his alleged thievery. He asks if there is anyone present who may vouch for Mr. Krabs' character, and our yellow knucklehead McSpazatron shows up to accuse Mr. Krabs of being a horrible person. King Neptune zaps Mr. Krabs, causing SpongeBob to sober up quickly. He selflessly volunteers to journey to Shell City and retrieve the king's crown. Freezing Mr. Krabs in place, King Neptune grants a 6-day reprieve so SpongeBob and Patrick may attempt to retrieve the crown. King Neptune's daughter Mindy provides SpongeBob and Patrick with a magic mirror through which she can communicate and assist our heroic duo. We continue as SpongeBob and Patrick arrive at the paddy wagon.
SpongeBob, Patrick, it's time to start your journey. Drive the paddy wagon through Bikini Bottom to the edge of town. This road will take you through Bikini Bottom to the edge of town. Don't let the paddy wagon take too much damage, or you'll have to start again.
And that will be it for this episode. So, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time. I hope to catch you all tomorrow for some more of the SpongeBob Squarepants movie game. Goodbye!